A few people get in the chat, so we can talk about this a little bit on SummerSlam Saturday, the day before SummerSlam Sunday. What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic dropping a live car vlog. I've been doing lives lately. I said I was going to do lives. I'm going to do more lives. We're going to do more stuff at home, but right now I like what we are doing when I get off of work, when I'm on the way to work, or just in general. I do like just doing live. One, for storage space, so I don't have to like edit and a whole bunch of stuff with videos and all of that stuff. I could just do live and it can be uploaded as soon as I click in live, right? But first and foremost, if nobody tells you today, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I'm praying for you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you subscribe to the Take It Home podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics and I put up my matches as classic outfit. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling channel and a company that we will be getting back August 30th at the 11th hour in Dyer, Indiana. So if you were in Hammond, East Chicago, St. John, Highland, Valparaiso, even in Illinois, Chicago Heights, South Highland, Lansing, Calumet City. If you just want to fly out and see some great wrestling in Indiana, come get your tickets on Eventbrite. They are $5 off, but they'll be $5 more at the door. In Dyer, Indiana, Harold's private venue. Stellar matches. Lafayette in the building. What's going on, Robert Brown? So, God bless you, brother. Hope you're doing good. Since yesterday, I believe. I think it happened yesterday, but I think people are speaking about it today, and it's really to them. A lot of people are mad at Triple H. Real name, Paul Levesque. I'm good, bro. Thanks for asking. Paul Levesque, because he was standing behind the president. He was standing behind Trump, and Trump is trying to reintroduce the physical test for like students and stuff like that. And not even gonna lie, I had to do like a little research. It's always important to like try to look at stuff and try to research stuff before you put an opinion on it. Now, I'm not going to try to put my opinion on what I think of it, because I just want to talk about the Triple H part and the wrestling part of the situation. So basically, Trump announced that Triple H is going to be a part of the physical and the fitness program that he's doing, the initiative, right? So people are upset. They are very, very upset. Let me hit this turn safe. Safe is very important. Triple A flexing on Vince, aka McMahon. You funny, Rob. So a lot of people are upset, and he also said that Trump is a good president. And that's what really like made people go over the rails or whatever. So people are upset. So we're here to talk about. Well, I want to talk about it in my perspective of the situation, right? First things first, because a lot of people's like, oh man, I hate when wrestling and politics is intertwining and all of this stuff, and I watch wrestling to escape politics and stuff like that. Let's be honest here. This was something that people seeked out. It's not like this, as I checked, when I went to WWE.com, it doesn't say Paul Levesque or Triple H is this with the president. It doesn't even say it. Will they make an article? Probably. Will it headline? I don't think so. They're still doing wrestling. They're still prepping for their show. This is something that people went for because obviously it was televised and it was shown through social media. So I don't think this was just technically per se a mix of wrestling and politics. You could still watch a wrestling and not have anything to do with politics, right? I do know that a lot of things can obviously bleed over into other realms that people either don't want to look at or don't want to educate themselves on. But this is just not something like, okay, well, they just put something in there. Like, this is something that people got upset about. Like, even I had to research a little bit of the stuff to understand what was going on and what the position was. So it's very important to seek the information. But this isn't like something much of a political move, because even before this even happened, the McMahons and them was cool with Trump. So I don't understand why people are acting upset and shocked about the situation. His first run as the president, Linda McMahon was part of the board. They work with Trump. Trump is in the Hall of Fame. They did WrestleManias at Trump Towers. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. So this is my thing. This is, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that everybody didn't say nothing until Triple H. I'm just saying, like, people are upset with this certain situation, but it's like, are y'all really shocked? The family he married into have been rolling with this guy. They've been rolling with this guy. Some people say I'm so disappointed. Some people say they're not gonna watch WWE anymore and they're not gonna watch SummerSlam. To each their own. I'm not sitting here to say, hey, please watch it. You know, none of that does nothing for me. Just saying. Just saying. Rob says, my opinion is Triple H trolling Vince at this point. What's going on, Shauna? So, I think this thing, as far as a political thing, like, oh, wrestling and politics, well, they didn't, you know, they really went by his real name, Paul Levesque. And it's like I said, other things that people do, regardless if it's personal, political, religious, sometimes it does bleed into other realms and positions that it's not meant to, because sometimes people are judging the person as a whole. But sometimes you got to differentiate. I honestly think it's not good for y'all to be trying to be friends and do a lot of these wrestlers and stuff like that, and these wrestlers is giving y'all honest opinions about their personal life and how they feel about something, then all of a sudden you leave the conversation more upset than when you went in there, because they are people too. They have choices that they choose. Some are good, some are bad, some are personal, some are private. They just like us. I'm just like y'all. See, I got me mixing it up together. I'm a wrestler, I'm a promoter and stuff like that. I still got stuff I gotta do. I still got priorities I gotta do. Y'all know I serve the Lord, so that means I serve others. These are the kind of things that I like to do. And even the stuff that I just said, some people would probably get upset with that, right? So, you know, I post about a lot of stuff. I say, you know, God love you and stuff. I remember somebody was like, man, I wanted to listen to wrestling, and you preaching, you talk about God and stuff. And then some people say, God bless you back. That's just one of those things, right? So Paul, on his off time, whatever time he wants to, if he wants to do something like that, that's his choice to do it. But to sit here and just be like bewildered and astonished that he even is around him, Trump, and doing that kind of stuff, it's like, well, come on, man. like what y'all thinking? And some people are bringing race into it. It don't have to be in there, but some people are. It is, hey, like I said, to each their own. If you want to be upset about this situation, like, you have a right to. Me, it's nothing to be upset about. I'm not shocked. You know, hopefully it works out for the best of everybody. That's how I feel about the certain situation. Taker been rocking the blue CLM stripe, and no one says a thing. So yeah, I wouldn't raise my blood. Thank you, S&P. Like, a lot of these people are opening their personal life. They're doing stuff and they're promoting whatever they want to promote. It doesn't technically mean they're a bad person. And like I said, I encourage people to not go off of what everybody's saying, what everybody is feeling. I do encourage, please do research on certain things and to understand before you form an opinion. There's a lot of people that get on social media and they just say stuff and they have no validity to it. So you got me messing up my words. I had to research that when I'm playing, but still, I'm just saying, and you can say what you want. You know, you're free to say stuff, but consequences, there are consequences that come with that. those come in receipts. So, and there's times where if I've said something and then I've followed up and said, hey, you know what, I didn't say this right, or I had to edit something because I messed up, and that's okay. Because sometimes I am quick to, you know, get online and speak about stuff. But this is just one of those things. It's just like, you know, a lot of people, y'all will be upset with a lot of the wrestlers with what they do on their personal life or whatever. I know some people are mad at Kane because of what he's doing in Tennessee and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to sit here and like throw shade on anybody that's doing anything. I'm just saying in general. So it's just like, you know, if you really do want to watch wrestling without politics and personal stuff, don't go on social media. Don't follow wrestling pages. Don't follow wrestling social media. Do not follow these wrestlers, because they probably eventually they're going to post something that you do not like. And either you're going to be the mob or you're just going to be like, me. If I look at something I don't like, I don't agree with, I don't really even have to comment. I can just unfollow, I can block, I can do a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, this is not something that I want on my timeline. Oh, I disagree, or I can scroll past it. I don't always have to make a post, because some things are not post-worthy. I'm in control of my social media page. I can control what I look at. I can control what I don't look at. And if something does show up on my timeline that I don't like, I can get rid of it, right? Sometimes people give energy to stuff to where it don't need to be. Like I said, when Hogan passed, somebody was like, my mama told me if I don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all, so I'm not going to say nothing. Why did you post that? You didn't have to post at all. And I'm not social media police. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying in general. Social media has given people a voice. And that's a good and a bad thing, because some people are meant to be silent. Because sometimes people are not bringing nothing to the table. And I'm not sitting here saying this as like I'm looking down on somebody. I be messing up my words and stuff like that. But like I said, I promised myself on this channel that I wasn't just supposed to say all kind of messy stuff or whatever, because that's just not who I am. I'm not supposed to just straight bash somebody. Like, I can sit here and I can disagree with them. I can talk about their career and stuff, but I try to do it in a respectful way, right? Because I know there's people that just says a lot of stuff or anything, and they get subscribers and stuff like that, and they do small clickbaity stuff like that. Now, I have a play on words with certain titles, but when you actually listen to me, you see what I'm saying when I bring it up. Yes, Robert Brown, social media police. Social media police. That it's a lot of people like out here that got that. I'm not trying to turn me Charlie out talking. You have a dream opponent growing up. I didn't want to be a wrestler. Let's see, I'm 36, wrestling 13, so what, 23? Been wrestling since I'm 23. So, yeah, man, I was an adult when I decided that I wanted to wrestle, because my wife used to wrestle, and her trainer or whatever, like that, it was cool. It's basically a father-in-law, and that's basically how I got into wrestling. It wasn't like when I was a kid, man, I was just you know, I was just trying to do something, right, as a kid. But nah, as an adult is when I decided that I wanted to try to be a wrestler. So, yeah, the social media police is just crazy. I'm surprised Triple H hanging with, what you say? Hanging with Trump. He taking everything. And even the Vince situation, like, there's millions of pictures of Vince and Trump together. They had a match at WrestleMania. Battle of the Billionaires, hair versus hair, Bobby Lashley versus Umaga. Like, this is, come on, man. Like, they've been working together for a while. They've been working together for a while. Like, this is the worst thing that Triple H has done? No. Especially if you look at some of the wrestling stuff and some of the storylines and stuff, y'all wasn't saying none of that stuff. Only a few. I'm not going to say a lot. I'm not going to say none of y'all, but some people spoke about their frustrations about certain things that Triple H has done and stuff like that and all that. But still, it's just in general, it's just like, okay, you know, and I've seen Triple H, and, you know, when people ask him questions about pushing wrestlers of color and stuff, and I've seen stuff, and I've made fun of it, like, oh, I don't see color. I made fun of all of this stuff. So let me just say, I'm not sitting there putting the cape on Triple H. I'm really not, because I went after Triple H, and I have questions about some of the stuff that he puts as well. Some of the stuff that he does is not interesting, and some of it is like, it's just intentional. He has his guys, just like Vince had his guys. And that's what I said in one of my videos that like it got a lot of views about 2 years ago. I was like, a lot of people ain't gonna like Triple H's direction. And some wrestlers have said that. Bobby Lashley has said that. MVP has said that. A lot of these wrestlers have said, some of them have. Some of it enjoy it and some of it don't. You know, and it is what it is. And I said that Triple H has been around when Vince was on the this tirade that people talk about and doing certain things. And you mean to tell me that Triple H didn't learn the game from him? Come on now. Maybe he had learned to enhance it and make it a little better, if you want to say that. But like I said, wrestling started getting better under Vince's regime. And I want people to remember that, because throughout the years, people are going to say, oh, as soon as Triple H took over, that's when everything started being good. No. Wrestling and stuff started picking up a little bit more before Vince McMahon got kicked out. I want us to remember that. I do. I want people to remember that, only for the fact that it's a fact. Not to say Vince neither, but just for it to be a fact. WrestleMania and all of them, they started popping and stuff like that, especially like a little bit after the lockdown. Heck, even during the lockdown. Besides that Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio match where Rey Mysterio lost the eye. That was horrible. But anyway, like a little bit after the shutdown and stuff like that, WWE started popping. And that's when Vince was still ahead of the regime. Just saying. The way you said social media police was funny. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, what did I want to do? When I was in high school, I just wanted to be an engineer, and I only chose that because everybody else chose that. I didn't really know what I wanted to be and wanted to do, right? So like when I'm from Texas, so when I moved up here, the plan was to go to Chicago State and learn stuff with engineering. But then I wound up on the South Suburban, and I went for electrical. I went for engineering. Then they changed it. When they started changing my major without telling me, because they kept changing programs, I just went to general studies. So yeah, I just wanted to be, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I thank God for allowing me to be who I am now. The failures, the setbacks, the no's, the closed doors and stuff like that. Now I make my own lane. So I will say that much. But was you a fan of? Oh yeah, I was definitely a fan. I'm a fan of wrestling because my great grandfather was watching wrestling. I remember it was Harlem Heat. It was Booker T and Stevie Ray. I forgot who they was going against. And I was hooked on wrestling since. We didn't have cable at the time, but my great grandparents did. And he would switch between Nitro and Monday Night Raw. And that's how I became a fan of wrestling, Goldberg, stuff like that. And a lot of the Booker T and looking at WWE, The Rock, Vader, and all of these guys, Undertaker. That's when I became. So as soon as I seen it, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely drawn to it. Now, doing it was never something that I wanted to do when I was a kid, because it just was something I felt like you'd have to go to WWE. Till social media started popping about, ROH and independent shows. So that's how that happened. But going back into it, yeah, man, everybody upset with Triple H because he's doing stuff on his other time. He can do this stuff. I mean, a lot of people have other things than other businesses and other political events they do. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he wants to do. Let me say it like that. He's doing what he wants to do. And like I said, just hope that it's something that's beneficial to the kids and stuff. A lot of people, it's like almost anything somebody do, that person do, breathe or whatever, it's like the worst thing. And I'm like, man, dang, nothing even happened yet. See, I think I'll say this much about the political thing, right? I'll say a little bit of this. I think that when somebody, and I'll say, I guess popular, polarizing, captivating, I know somebody's going to disagree with all three. But when you have somebody, even when Obama was running for president, he became president. When you have somebody that a lot of people either like or dislike, people turn to politics. Now people look at research. Now they look at stuff. Now they look at stats. They look at statistics. They look at demographics. They look at all of this stuff because they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, let me see. Instead of consistently looking at it, even when before the Obamas and Trumps and all of these people came to be. So now when something is bad or shaped bad, they're going to immediately blame the person that just showed up in the office. Like, I just got here. I just got here. Now, I just got here. God dang. Like, what happened? Like, what y'all mean? So that's how I feel. Also, and I'm going to say this too. Homie has been saying some wild stuff. All of it's not wild. I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to lie. I don't think a lot of it is wild as people want it to be. But he has said some wild stuff, even in the past few weeks. And I'm going to say that too. Like, bro, you bugging. And I'm going to sit here and say that too. But still, it's just like when you sit here and try to blame just anything, that's just what it is. Not putting the cape. See, I'm not putting capes on these people. What I am trying to say is I want you guys to think and gals to think. I want you guys to think about certain things. Like I said, you can be upset. You have a right to be upset with what he decided to do. I mean, I'm not though. I'm just saying, it's just speaking on the lie. I'm not, because of what his family been doing. You can still look at your wrestling without politics. It's definitely there. This was just one of the moments where people look for it and they shared it, and now everybody's talking about it and stuff. Oh, well, I didn't want wrestling and politics and stuff like that. I'm like, well, you can still differentiate. We also have that type of power, if you want to call it that, to separate this kind of stuff. I mean, it's up to you if you want to do it, but if you want to be upset, then by all means, be upset. I don't know about you. I call Goldberg a whole bird. Triple H hit the pin game. Now, fun fact, my only gripe with Obama was his wife having snacks and being taken out the leadership. It's some other stuff too. I don't want to say it's other stuff. All I say is research. I think that a lot of things that this president is doing, a lot of people are mad at. But when you look at like the former presidents before him, or even between his runs, you'll definitely see some stuff that'll be some eye opener. And I encourage people to do that, especially if you are upset with certain things in certain situations. See, it doesn't matter if somebody says it nice. If it's done, it's done. I'll say that much. Because like I said, I just wanted to speak about the Triple H part, right? So that's how I feel, man. I just feel about the situation. I'm not upset. Some people, like I said, once again, you have a right to be upset. Shocked? No. You have a right to be shocked. You have a right to feel how you want to feel. You're shocked? Hey, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. Well, let me know, man, what you guys think about the situation. Shout out to you, Robert, man. Shout out to you. Almost every time I go live, you speak. You be speaking about stuff, you be laughing and stuff. So God bless you, man. Shout out to everybody else that have watched, liked, looking at this video. Can you promote your channel to? Can I? Yeah, for sure, brother. Nah, heck yeah. If you don't do that, by all means, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. You're one of the A1s since day ones. So shout out to you guys. I just wanted to speak about it for a little bit. I just think that I don't want to say it's selective outrage, but it is. To some people. Some people, it is definitely selective outrage. I just want to be upset because everybody else is upset about it or whatever like that. Oh, well, this feels like this and this feels like that. And like I said, I've been getting on Triple H about certain situations of his booking, and it's been questionable about a lot of the stuff. But it's just like, this is where the line is drawn. Just saying. But I hope you guys have a great one, man. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.